What's up, YouTube? Now you see the title of this video and you see the picture on the screen. So, I saw this crap, man. I saw this whole thing with Dr. Umar, having I guess back and forth with Cynthia G recently. Uh I saw it on Red Supreme's channel. Shout out to Red. And I was like, man, I might have to make a video about this because there's so much to unpack here. And I'm gonna just get right into this. I'm just hopping right into this crap. I got a lot to unpack. So we just hopping right into the situation. No need for any long introduction. So was, looking at it, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's so much to unpack in this entire, dialogue between Dr. Umar and Cynthia G. I was like, there's so much to unpack here. There's so much to unpack. There is so much to, just look at and analyze because this is just so much to unpack, man. I watched the dialogue and the things that the things I heard Dr. Umar saying, the things I heard Cynthia saying. I'm like, okay. Like I said, you see the title. I have something to explain. Yeah, Dr. Umar gets this. See, Dr. Umar gets what I'm about to say. Yeah, Dr. Umar already gets this. I have my, my own things when it comes to Dr. Umar, but we're just gonna put that to the side right now because I want to analyze this scenario and this scenario alone. I don't want to bring in any other stuff when it comes to Dr. Umar. Things that I have pertaining to him to say. Issues I might have with him. That we just gonna put that to the side because none of that matters right now. We're gonna analyze this scenario and this scenario alone, this situation and this situation alone. So I'm listening to the dialogue, and for those who don't know, I guess Cynthia G and Dr. Umar and some other people were on like some panel together. I think it was like some Fox Soul shit by some person I literally don't even know who the fuck she is. It's like, the Fox Soul shit, that, Fox Soul fucking, that shit is dog shit. That's garbage, but that's a whole nother conversation. So it's not a surprise. They let anybody on that motherfucker. Uh, so, you have some Fox Soul shit, some little thing where they got a panel and they'd have little topics and shit. And Dr. Umar was on there, some other dude was on there, some other women, another woman was on there too, and Cynthia was on there. And they were having a dialogue about, I believe the subject was, is there an attack on black men? I mean, even just seeing that question asked, man, that just shows you that it was going to be a disingenuous conversation. Because for you to even ask that question and really be wondering, is the black man under attack? Like, that just shows either you niggas are disingenuous, like I said, or you niggas are dumb. So I hope it's not the last one. Because you niggas can't be that dumb to even be asking that question, is the black man under attack? That's the simplest shit to ever fucking, like, that question is so easy, nigga. You getting the A+ automatically, nigga. There's no way any nigga gonna fail that. If you get a test, one question, is the black man under attack, yes or no, true or false? And if a nigga fail that, then you dumb as fuck, because that's obviously true. We don't even need to go through the historical, context behind that. And I'm not talking about the dumbass history you motherfuckers have been taught at school. I'm talking about the real history of this earth. What's really going on? Yeah, the black man's under attack from all sides by everyone. It's actually surprising that this black man is still standing. If this be any other race being attacked by every other race on the planet, oh, they'd be fucked. If, let's say, the white man was being attacked by the black man, the Asian man, the Arab, everybody attacking the white man, he'd be fucked. I can assure you, the Asian man, everyone attacking him, white man, black man, he'd be fucked. I'm surprised this black man is even standing, to be honest. But that's a whole nother video. I want to analyze this stupid shit. Is the black man under attack? Obviously, that's an obvious yes. Now we have the question of, well, not the question of, but rather the the stupidity of the fucking dialogue between Dr. Umar and Cynthia G, and how She's sitting up here with her regular ass continue. I mean, it's been saying the same shit for the past, what has it been, 5 years now? Cynthia G been going on bashing black men, the same talking points that have been debunked for years now. I mean, at this point, it's just repetitive. Black men going to the Supreme Court to try to get me white women, all this dumb shit. What was they doing in the civil rights movement? What have they done? What have they built? I mean, this shit is so easy to debunk. We've already debunked all that shit. So I'm not even gonna sit here and just debunk Cynthia G's talking points because it's already been debunked for years now. Nobody got time to keep going through this shit. If you niggas gonna keep doing the same shit over and over and expecting a different result with Cynthia G, then you niggas are insane. Because that's the definition of insanity. You doing the same shit over and over and expecting a change. Y'all having dialogue with this bitch over and over and expecting her to fucking have some epiphany. The bitch ain't no nigga. Y'all engaging in insane behavior, okay? Ain't nothing about to change with her. Her viewpoints are gonna remain the same. Ain't nobody. So this isn't about changing her mind or proving her wrong. We've already proved her wrong. Changing her mind isn't gonna happen though. So it's an exercise in futility. We're not gonna do that. It is an exercise that is not gonna lead anywhere. You're wasting your time. What I want to talk about here is what you niggas need to understand and what you niggas need to really know for a fact and understand this so you can know what this is all about. Well, now, what do I mean by that? You need to understand that Cynthia G's problem, see, now we're going to get into psychology of this. Cynthia G's problem, what this really is about, is her lack of access to the men she wants. This is why she's triggered. This is why she's mad all over social media, making these goofy ass videos on YouTube talking about black men as black men all the fucking time. All you see, her talking about black men, her talking about black men. If you go to her channel right now, I can assure you, mind you, I ain't seen none of her shit in the longest. This is the first time I've heard her, this whole Umar shit from watching Red. But I can assure you, if you go to her channel right now, all it's gonna be is black men, black men, black men, black men, black men. The black men getting with the non-black woman, black men, black men. Like that's all it's gonna be. So you have to understand that the reason she's doing that shit and the reason she's constantly stalking this black man, because this is like damn near stalking at this point. This is fucking internet stalking, nigga. This is digital stalking. You got niggas stalking an entire male group on the internet. This is how insane these niggas are. So the reason that you have her doing that shit is, like I said, she's mad because she cannot get the access to the men she wants. She's triggered because the men she wants don't want her. She's mad because she can't get the men that she wants. So she's lashing out at all black men, angry at all black men, bashing all black men. And basically, one of the main things that makes her mad the most is that when you have a black man who has high esteem of himself, has high standards for himself, and it's like, I want a woman who's this and this and that, and she hates that. And the reason Cynthia G does not like that is because she believes that she should be able to walk through the door and act however she wants to act and be however she is, and you're supposed to take her as she is. And if you demand anything, then you can't, because you a broken buck. You was a conquered buck and all that goofy shit. So you can't demand anything. So when you do, it angers her, because that shows, if you have someone who's demanding something higher, that means that they have what? A good image of themselves. They have high self-esteem. If you're demanding something higher than yourself. Not in a delusional fashion, but, oh, if I'm bringing such and such to the table, I deserve this in return. If someone is asking for that, that means they know their worth. And she hates that there can be any black man that knows his worth. That angers her. So she gets online and talking about you niggas is conquered this and that, because she has to try to bring you down, to make you feel as less as a man, make you feel as low as her, because Cynthia G feels low about herself. She's jealous of white women. This is not even debatable. Just go look at her channel. Just look at her channel. You'll always find some shade thrown at white women. You'd have to go back and find that shit. You'd have to go back and find her throwing shade at white women. So she always, got some, she hates non-black women in general. She definitely hates white women. She hates black men for the reasons I just gave. She believes that these niggas should not be able to have any standards. She's mad she can't get the men she wants. So this is why she's lashing out. And you have to understand, her goal ultimately is to make every black woman that she can corrupt, feel the way she feels, to have the have the disdain for black men as she does, and to basically have the same mission as she does, which is to demean and degrade the black man and try to make him feel less than. Because all the women who, flock to Cynthia G all are the same archetype. They all have low self-esteem. They all hate themselves. They all want to be white women. They all have a jealousy of white women. I've been going through this shit. It's been damn near a year now of me analyzing Cynthia G when I first found out about her and her followers and just reading comments. I remember when I read one comment where they were throwing shade at white women in the comment section of a Cynthia G video. Her followers hate white women. They're jealous of white women. They're jealous, they hate themselves, and they hate the black man because ultimately the black man represents them. When they look in the mirror, the black man is damn near a reflection of them because he, of course, is black as they are. And they hate that. So their vitriol is aimed at this black man because of what he represents, because he is a reflection of them. And they despise themselves. So they despise the black man. And they despise the fact that this black man, who they view as less than because they see themselves as less than, can ask for anything higher than himself. And if this black man seeks anything that will make him happy, that angers them. And the reason it angers them is because they don't believe that blackness deserves any peace. They don't believe that a black person really deserves anything that would, be able to make them happy. They hate the creation of blackness, which is why Cynthia G talks about aborting black males, because she despises blackness in its essence. She wants it destroyed. She is essentially a white supremacist in blackface. That's what Cynthia G is. Cynthia G is a white supremacist in blackface. That's what she is, and her followers are just like that as well. They are KKK members in blackface. That's what they are. So Cynthia G, basically her problem is she's mad because she can't get the men she wants. Because even through all of this, there's still this strangeness here. Because although she has this disdain for black men and talking all this negative stuff about black men, she still fucks with them. So now we have to analyze, what is really going on here? Because that is the most confusing part of it all. You talking all this negative stuff about black men, but yet you still fucking with them. So now we really have to see, okay, this is some sick shit here. This is a fucking mental illness at play here. Because if I'm a dude who don't like, let's say I don't like apples, and I'm like, fuck apples, they ain't shit, I'ma go burn apples where they growing and shit. Oh, you planted an apple back there? I'm burning the whole field to destroy that shit. We can't have them apples growing. But then you see me eating apples and shit. Now you gotta question my mental state. Now you gotta question what the fuck wrong with this dude. How you destroying apples and want apples to be destroyed, but then you eating them. You eating apples. We catch you eating apples. And you trying to hide apples being eaten. You trying to conceal that shit. This is some sick shit. Cynthia G has a child that she's trying to conceal. This is some sick shit, man. This is some sick shit. When we're dealing with Cynthia G, we're dealing with a deranged individual. We're dealing with a woman who's fucked up mentally, man. It just is what it is. There's no denying this. I'm not arguing with none of you Cynthia G sympathizers. All you niggas are dumb. I don't got time for the shit because it's not really deniable. You can't deny the shit I'm saying. All you can do is throw insults, call a nigga a trash bag, a dusty. At this point, this shit is just laughable. Insults don't do anything. If you don't have the intellectual ability and the acumen to debunk what I'm saying, you might as well just shut up and sit down. That's really what needs to be done with these motherfuckers. But we know they're going to continue to talk. And I really want to emphasize when I say that this is about the hatred of black men, and this is about their self-hate. Cynthia G and her followers. And I know some of y'all may have been wondering, why do I have this on the screen? Why do I have Star Wars on the screen? Why do I have Obi-Wan on the screen on Mustafar? Some of y'all may already have pieced this together, especially if y'all in the manosphere. Y'all may know what I'm about to do, because I'm about to do an analogy here and put this to a visual so you can understand the hatred of black men they have. I want you to watch a physical representation, a visual representation of the hatred they have for black men and how deep it is. I want y'all to watch this scene because it's gonna be a part in this scene that's gonna be what they are when it comes to black men. Their rage, how they directed at black men. I want you to listen to the tone of the voice that you about to hear in the rage. This is their rage and hatred for black men. I'm about to play this little part of this scene, of Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith. If any of you know Star Wars fans like me, this is Revenge of the Sith, the movie Revenge of the Sith, Star Wars, and it's Obi-Wan and Anakin's battle on the planet of Mustafar when Anakin turned to the dark side. And I'm gonna do a whole analogy too on Anakin, because Anakin really is what Cynthia G represents. That's the representation of Cynthia G, Anakin. I'm gonna break it down after I play this video, but I want to show you the hatred of black men they have. And I want to just play that part, and I'm gonna just stop it there and be like, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm about to play this video right now.
You underestimate my power. Don't try it. You were the chosen one. It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them. Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness.
That right there, that's what it is right there. You hear the rage in his voice. I hate you scream. That's these black women's hatred of black men right there. I'm gonna play it one more time. Listen to his voice. That is the hatred they have for black men, expressed in that rage right there in the voice. That is the hatred they have for themselves. That is the hatred they have for black men, for blackness. To the degree where you got Cynthia G talking about aborting black males, and her followers agree with that shit. This is the demonic nature. Look at the picture on the screen. Look at his eyes. The rage in his eyes, the yellow Sith eyes. Because Anakin fell to the dark side. He fell to the dark side and became a Sith. He fell from the light side, a Jedi, in the Jedi Order, fighting for justice and righteousness and peace. And then he fell to the dark side, and he became a Sith. And the yellow eyes is a part of the rage that the Sith have. It's the rage of the Sith, of the dark side, being expressed through their very eyes. So the yellow in his eyes represents his rage, his darkness. And that is Cynthia G right there, the dark side. Which she is the representation of the dark side, the evil, the wickedness, the demonic nature that she possesses. And that I hate you is her hatred for black men and her followers' hatred for black men. This is their deep demonic spirit that they have, corrupted by the darkness. Corrupted. So that right there represents everything, and this is I posit that the perfect part right here, because this is the rage in their eyes right here. This is their, the darkness, the yellow eyes, the Sith eyes, the hatred, the dark side represented. And Cynthia G perfectly represents Anakin, because I was thinking about this when I was like, oh, I'm gonna make this video, and I was like, yeah, Cynthia G represents Anakin. Now, some of you may be wondering, how is that so? Especially some of you Star Wars fans. I'm going to explain it. For any of you understand the story of Anakin and his fall to the dark side, becoming Darth Vader. Anakin, in Revenge of the Sith in particular, how she represents Anakin is, in Revenge of the Sith, the reason Anakin fell to the dark side is because he had this love for Padme, who he married. He had this love for Padme, and he was having visions of her basically dying in childbirth. So he wanted to save Padme, and the Emperor, who is, Chancellor Palpatine, or the Emperor, Dark Sidious, knew this, and he was playing on this, and he was playing on Anakin's emotions and his fear, because fear leads to the dark side. So he wanted to play on Anakin's love for Padme, and basically try to convince him that if he became a Sith Lord, he would be able to have the power to save Padme. And this is what caused Anakin to turn to the dark side. Eventually, Emperor Palpatine manipulated Anakin and caused him to turn to the dark side, and caused him um, basically serve him in order to get this power that he thought he would be able to achieve to save Padme from death. And the reason Cynthia G represents Anakin is because Anakin was conflicted throughout all of this. Any of you who watched the movie, you understand he was conflicted throughout all of this. When he turned to the dark side, he was conflicted. There would be scenes where his eyes would be yellow, and there would be scenes where his eyes wouldn't be yellow. You know, when he eventually vowed his allegiance to Sidious. And the reason his eyes would fluctuate from yellow to not yellow was because Anakin was conflicted. He was on one side enraged and filled with hate, and on the other side he was, not filled with so much hate. He was conflicted on the light and the dark. And that is Cynthia G. She's conflicted in the light and the dark. And the reason I say this is because if she really was like, oh, these black men dusty and all this, she wouldn't even be talking about these niggas. She would be off with Brad somewhere. Even, and this goes for the divestors too. They would be off with Brad. These bitches sit online talking about black men while claiming to be divested from black men and with Brad and shit. But all they do is talk about black men. And the reason is because they are conflicted. It's not just Cynthia G. I'm going to add the rest of these bitches. The divestors, her followers, they're all conflicted. They're in that Anakin Skywalker stage in Revenge of the Sith, Nightfall Anakin. They, on one side, they're on the darkness, hating black men, but on the other side, they're conflicted in their raid. They're conflicted with the light side, because even though they have this hatred for black men, what shows you that they still even give a fuck is that they're still talking about black men. So they're conflicted in this light and dark. They're at that Anakin stage, and they're conflicted and they're lost. And see, eventually, the reason this analogy is so great is because if any of you understand Revenge of the Sith, Star Wars, y'all understand the story of Star Wars in general. Anakin eventually, in this scene, he burns up, he gets burnt up to a fucking crisp. Dude's damn near flesh just hanging off his body. He's burnt, charred, all that. And Emperor Palpatine comes to Mustafar and sees Anakin burnt up. His limbs is cut off and shit. Emperor Palpatine's like, get the medic. They come out, they get him, they put him on a table. They, take off the excess flesh that he has from being burnt, so he doesn't get infected and all that shit. And they basically construct, Anakin into Darth Vader. This is how Darth Vader became who he was, because he was basically, Darth Vader is Anakin trapped in his suit. So they reconstruct him, they put the armor on him, all that, his mask, all that, and he's now trapped. He's enslaved in this suit. He, is a slave to Dark Sidious, and this represents Cynthia G and her followers, because ultimately what this is going to lead to is they're going to be a slave like Darth Vader. How Anakin became a slave and became Darth Vader. They're going to end up alone in darkness. See, and Cynthia G is already pretty much there. This is why she's in so much rage. You gotta understand, Darth Vader in the whole, Skywalker saga, he was enraged. Through all the movies, Darth Vader was in so much rage and anger and hatred. And that's where Cynthia G is really right now. And all her followers enraged, angry. And, they're just suffering. And that's what happened to Darth Vader. Continual suffering. Trapped in a suit. A slave to Dark Sidious. And that's basically where they are at. Because ultimately, a lot of these women are demonic. They are a slave to the darkness, to Satan. When you're talking about aborting black male babies and killing babies, infants, man, not even infants, even before they're even born, man. Like, you talking about killing babies, man. You are demonic, man. You are demonic. I remember when Tanya TKO was on one of Cynthia G's stream. This was a long time ago. And she was talking about how she had Tanya TKO had a baby in her hand, a black baby. And, a black male baby, and she was saying how women in the comments were like speaking ill of that black male baby as if they wanted him to die. This is the evil that they possess. And it's even more, I'm telling you, this analogy is great because even in Star Wars, in Revenge of the Sith, Anakin killed younglings. He killed the younglings that were in the Jedi Temple who were to be trained to be Padawans and ultimately Jedi. He killed younglings, children, and that's basically what these women are, advocate for, the murder of children, man. This is some evil shit, and that's what Anakin did. And you watch the movie, he went in the Jedi Temple and he killed the younglings. These women are advocating for the death of younglings, man, the death of babies, of children. This is why this Anakin Skywalker analogy is so great, because this is who they represent. Evil, darkness, conflicted, and full of evil and darkness at the same time. Just full of hatred, man. Advocating for the death of babies. Demonic devils, man. Demonic devils. And Sheol, hell, will definitely have a place for these women. There will be a place for them. For this evil and this hatred. They will fall to the darkness. They will fall to the depths of hell. And hell definitely exists. Anyone to deny that, hey, that's a whole nother video. They will have their day in that realm, Sheol or hell. They will have their day in the suffering, in the eternal torture that they will endure because of their wickedness and evil. But that's all I really got to say for this video, man. I didn't really go over, the shit that was being said in the video with Umar and Cynthia G, because like I said, I really want to focus on, put emphasis on what this is really about when it comes to Cynthia G. It's her hatred, her, the fact that she can't get what she wants. Cynthia G is ultimately a child. She's a child. She can't get what she wants, so she's throwing a temper tantrum. That's really the overall, essence of Cynthia G. And basically, she'll talk about these black men, how they dusty and conquered. But then you notice on her channel, like I said, she always stocks black men interracially dating. So when a black man gets with a white woman, right? That same black man that she hated and said was conquered and all that, she'll be making videos talking about how he worship whiteness and all this, and he getting with a white woman because he worship whiteness. But you sitting up here saying he ain't shit, so why do you care? See, that's what a child does. See, a child don't want to play with a toy. You have a child who doesn't want to play with a toy at first, but then when the other kid starts playing with the toy, then here come the child. Hey, give me my toy back. It's like, but you didn't want to play with the toy. That's child shit. And Cynthia G is ultimately a child. She's a child. She's literally a child, man. Just go look at the behavior of a child, and that's Cynthia G for you and all her followers. But at the same time, they're also demons, demonic. Go look at a devil worshiper, a motherfucker who advocates for. I'm talking about the most evil motherfucker. I'm talking about people who sacrifice children. That's them, demons. I mean, this is what they are. They represent Anakin Skywalker. But like I said, I'm gonna go. That's pretty much all I gotta say in this video. I just wanted to put emphasis on her hatred and what Cynthia G, why she's really mad. And that's because she can't get what she wants. She can't get the men she wants. She's mad because ultimately she doesn't like herself, so she's projecting onto black men. She's mad because how dare a black man demand anything, of high quality, because to her you ain't shit, but yet also she still wants to fuck with them. So this makes you question her mental state, which we already know that shit's fucked. And the ultimate reason that she has this much hatred for black men is because the culmination of all that is she is mad because she can't get what she wants, and she's basically lashing out on black men because of that, and she wants to try to corrupt as many black women as she can to have the same feelings towards black men as she has, and to ruin the lives of as many black women as she possibly can. That's ultimately the goal of Cynthia G, is to corrupt as many black women's minds as she possibly can because of her own failures and her own animosity and hatred. That's what she is. So yeah, like I said, I'm about to end this video. Um, I might make a part 2 to this because there might be some other stuff I do want to address because there is some other stuff I want to address. But ultimately, Cynthia G represents Anakin Skywalker from in Revenge of the Sith. And hey, that's all I gotta say for this video. I'm out.